The Man with the Yin-Yang Eyes. Season 2. Episode 26. Seeing that the former owner of the restaurant was killed and buried in a jar, Big D was surprised. Just a normal person can realize this is no ordinary murder. He moved closer to take a closer look. But Miss Valentine stopped him. She said, "Let the coroner finish the job." Inexperienced people like us are very likely to disturb the scene. There are very small clues, just a little carelessness will be lost. "Gregory, did you hear anything? If you go in arbitrarily, the scene will be disturbed. Until then, Valentine won't be able to help you." This fat guy really embarrassed me. He was going to run over to see it, but now he teaches me. While the autopsy team was working, Miss Valentine turned to me and said, "Looking at the scene like that, what do you think about the other man's death? There is one thing I want to tell you. In that jar, besides the soil, there was a lot of cinnabars mixed together." Hearing that, I wondered more and couldn't think of anything for a while. But Big D was different. He was next to me and said, "If what Miss Valentine said is true, then this is not just a murder with a clue. I suspect that this man was killed for a purpose. It's a kind of witchcraft, but I'll have to get closer to see what it is." As soon as I said that, both Big D and Valentine were surprised. Valentine wondered what kind of witchcraft could be scary. According to my speculation, it is the witchcraft that helps people to increase their lifespan. I have seen the mage Wang do it before, although the method is a little different, the basic is the same. Then it can be said that the Cain mage and Wang are more or less related to each other, not excluding the possibility that they are still followers of the same master. Listening to what I analyzed, Big D suddenly remembered something. He said that he had heard from his master about this method of burying people in a jar. After being silent for a while, Big D suddenly exclaimed, "That's not good. There will definitely be many more people to die, because this witchcraft can't be done just once." I immediately added, "That is the 5 elements longevity technique. Big D, have you ever heard of it?" As expected, after hearing me mention the name of this magic, Big D's face immediately changed. Both I and Big D knew that this magic was not easy to perform. So it can be concluded that the mage with the cane has reached the level of mastery in the use of black magic. I suddenly remembered something my master said before. Once the performer of this witchcraft succeeds, he can achieve immortality, but it is extremely difficult and dangerous. Therefore, no one has ever succeeded. The proof is that no one can claim to be immortal. Big D then continued to analyze this witchcraft for us through what he heard from his master. According to Big D, we can take the young girl who died in the pool and the man who was burned alive by the black credits as an example. These two people represent water and fire. Somehow, the mage will collect the souls of similar people. Through it, he will obtain the evil energy of the 5 elements. The important thing is to be able to find the right person as a sacrifice or not. Big D definitely confirmed that the man killed in front of us was the one who was sacrificed to collect the evil spirit of Earth. Among the 5 elements, the mage most likely obtained 3 of them. Hearing this, I immediately said, "If everything is like that, then maybe it's not the end. The man who was turned into a ghost guard at the restaurant may be the metal element." On the outside, the magician does business with the owner of the restaurant, but in fact, he also has his own plans. After finishing his words, Big D immediately turned to praise my ability to guess. If my guesses are correct, the mage has collected 4 rather than 3 dark elements as we thought at first. According to what you said, the last element is the wood element. If so, where to investigate? We have to localize the investigation as quickly as possible. Delay will inevitably lead to the appearance of the next victims. After listening to Valentine ask me this, I immediately answered the policewoman. This question is really difficult to answer. The mage must have chosen his next victim a long time ago. In a city of 1,000,000 people, there's basically nothing we can do. What we can do right now is see what happened to that man before he was killed. Maybe there are some clues. Hearing that, Valentine also agreed with my opinion, because now there is only this way. After the investigators finished their task, I immediately walked towards the body. For myself, the last encounter with Wang helped me understand more about the abilities and tricks of the evil mage, but at the same time, they also pay attention to my ability. Sooner or later, they will also find me and Big D. But before I could get close to the body, an inspector stopped me. Seeing that Valentine spoke up for me, thanks to that, I was able to enter without any further obstructions. Standing in front of the restaurant owner's body, I slowly put my hand on his head. Looking at his gray face right now, I suddenly think that the law of cause and effect is still inevitable. Perhaps this is the price this man must pay for his greed and cruelty. The scene gradually appeared in my mind. Now, the man was being dropped into the jar by two of the mage's subordinates. And the mage himself was standing behind, watching and giving orders. After taking care of everything, the mage and his subordinates began to leave. The staff was now held by him under his arm. It could be said that he was completely normal. This staff was just an ornament. Suddenly, as he approached the door, he immediately stopped as if forgetting something. He slowly raised his hand and pushed up his hat a little. After he pushed up his hat, he suddenly looked back. But I can tell for sure that he was not looking at the man in the jar. His eyes were on me, a scary and talkative look. It seemed to remind me, "Finally, you've come. I've been waiting for you for a long time, kid." Facing the eyes of the mage who startled me, I instinctively took a few steps back. Seeing my strange expression like that, Big D immediately ran over to ask me what I had seen that made me panic. I told Big D what I saw and then concluded, "This is the first time I have felt such an atrocity." It seems that the mage could have foreseen what I was going to do and looked in my direction, but I had the feeling that he had already gone straight to the door. But when I used my ability to see things, that he sensed it and used his power to penetrate my mind. After hearing what I told and my conclusion, Big D immediately made fun of me, thinking it was just a coincidence. No one can do what I just said. It's all simply the perpetrator often looks back at the scene before leaving. Despite Big D making a joke, I know that this mage's ability is much higher than Wang's. I have a bad feeling about this. I am more and more sure that they will come to find me in the future. Seeing my anxiety, Valentine standing next to me also spoke to me to encourage me. She said she would let some police wear plain clothes to stay in the area where I live to ensure safety. Hearing these words from Valentine also made me feel a little more secure, not because of the police's protection but because she was concerned for me. Before my depressed appearance, Big D used all means to reassure me. "Come on, kid. There's nothing to worry about. We've encountered much more dangerous situations before, and Miss Valentine also said that she would send someone to protect us. What are you afraid of? Come on. Let's go home, take a hot bath, and rest will help your mood better." Big D, I'm not afraid of that mage. I'm not the one who was scared off by others and ran away in fear. What I'm thinking is that I don't know how many evil mages are out there. In the past, the master once told me that he also once dealt with a case related to the 5 elements longevity. I don't know if it has anything to do with this mage. I am very worried about the safety of my master. As if suddenly remembering something, Big D immediately pulled my hand and ran like a ghost. It turned out that this bastard was afraid that while the two of them were here, the mage's subordinates had come to the house, smashed and stole all his money and valuables. There are really no words to say to this damn fat guy. I'm sick with anxiety, but this fat guy only thinks about money. After dinner, we sat down to drink tea and discuss the mage with the staff. According to Big D, if it was true that he knew I was looking for him, then surely, with his extravagant and arrogant nature, he would have come to us first. Listening to Big D's opinion, I also agree with him. As far as I know, in the process of gathering evil spirits to practice the 5 elements longevity, if he is harassed by others, it will be very counterproductive, losing his life like a game. That's why he will actively destroy the one who gets in his way as soon as possible. I was sipping a cup of hot tea in my hand while thinking, I wonder what the forte of the staff mage is. When dealing with Wong, before I went to find him, I knew that his forte was poisonous insects, more or less had a way to deal with it, but with this mage, I know absolutely nothing about him. Determined to confront such an enemy would be extremely difficult and dangerous. When I turned to look at Big D, I saw him holding 2 pistols. He looked very cool, perhaps after clashing with Wong made him much more alert. Looking at Big D now, he seems to be very angry. He originally hates being threatened by others, so he vowed to shoot anyone who sneaks into the house. Then he got up and went upstairs. Before leaving, Big D also told me to stay here and rest, let him take care of the guard. I don't understand why this fat guy is so knightly this time. But after thinking for a while, I realized that I was tricked by this damn fat guy. He wasn't originally worried about my safety. What he was worried about was the goods displayed in the basement, suddenly turned into a doorman. I yelled at Big D, I definitely won't sleep on the sofa anymore. But despite my screams, the damn fat man hurried up the stairs. Before going up, he raised his hand to mock me. In the end, I was still tricked by him with his old trick, but now I don't know what to do. I can only take the pillow next to me and throw it at Big D. After lying down for a while, I immediately texted my master. I wanted to ask him about it, tell him what I've been through recently. I also asked for more experience in dealing with that staff mage. I also did not forget to remind my master to be careful because this mage is most likely related to the case that master solved before. Knowing that I was facing such a strong enemy, my master told me to be careful, because even if I didn't interfere in this case, they would come to me sooner or later. Because evil mages basically hate true mages like me more than I hate them. Once they take action, it will be very cruel and not from any tricks. After I finished texting with my master, I looked up the information for a while and then fell asleep. The house is very quiet at this time, but folk often say that everything is always quiet before the storm. Around midnight, I heard a noise coming from the upper floor that woke me up. I grumbled and complained to Big D, I don't understand why it's late and he doesn't sleep. He woke me up when I was sleeping, but I called a few questions, and he didn't answer. I went over to see what was wrong. As soon as I saw Big D, I asked him what he was up to. Did he just run away while I was sleeping? But I immediately noticed the strangeness. Because normally, as soon as Big D hears a joke like that, he will react immediately. But this time, he didn't say a word, just walked forward. He has a very strange attitude. Seeing that, I approached him to ask what happened to him, but Big D quietly walked past me as if he didn't see me. After walking a few steps, I can see him like a puppet controlled by someone else. He has no control over his body. Feeling strange, I moved closer. I called and touched Big D's body to see if he had any reaction, but Big D still stood motionless. As soon as I pulled my hand back, he immediately turned his head. Now I can clearly see his angry expression, but most terrifying of all are his eyes. Big D's eyes now look extremely scary. It's white, lifeless. It seems that the mage has come here, and Big D has been hit by his witchcraft. Suddenly, from the sleeve of Big D appeared two bright blades. I could tell at a glance that they were extremely sharp. It seems these things were prepared in advance to deal with me. Without saying a word, Big D used two blades in his hand to attack me. For a moment, I could only dodge, not daring to fight back for fear of injuring Big D. This mage's move is so evil, I'm completely in a passive position. The attack power from Big D's attacks is extremely strong. His strength has now been increased significantly. Big D looks like a real monster, not Big D that I used to know. Big D attacks me faster and faster, which makes it extremely difficult for me to dodge. While avoiding the dangerous blows of Big D, I loudly called out his name, hoping to wake Big D up, but it didn't seem to work. Big D continuously launched dangerous attacks. The body was also extremely agile, not slow as usual. Big D's slashes are extremely fast and decisive, as evidenced by a ceramic vase next to me easily cut by the blade in Big D's hand. Looking at the broken one, I can confirm that Big D has been completely controlled. Because a person who loves money like Big D never breaks an expensive item like that. After missing the slash, Big D once again let out a scream that sounded like the cry of a beast and charged at me. It seems like Big D doesn't know what fatigue is. At this time, I can't avoid it forever. Because continuing to dodge will have loopholes, just a little carelessness will immediately lose my life under that sharp blade. So I swerved to the side to avoid Big D's stab and then quickly punched him in the face. What happened next startled me. After being hit by my punch, Big D's head was tilted to the side, looking extremely strange. This made me very surprised. My punch was strong, but it was not enough to make Big D's head deflect like that, which made me a little suspicious. When Big D turned his head to look back, I immediately noticed the abnormality. That's Big D's face. After being hit by a pretty strong punch from me, one of Big D's cheeks immediately ripped a large patch. Looking closely, I was startled because it was not skin but paper. After turning to look at me, in the blink of an eye, Big D charged at me again as if nothing happened. Seeing that, I immediately dodged back. I also raised my hand to prepare a strong blow to Big D's back. Because now I know that what is attacking me is just a dummy, so I am not afraid anymore. As soon as I waited for the Big D dummy to be in range, I used all my strength to slam an elbow into the dummy's back. But as soon as I got hit with my powerful elbow, the Big D dummy immediately stood up. Not giving it a chance to attack me again, I rushed in and launched a continuous attack at it. After being knocked away by my punches, without giving the dummy time to react, I sprinted towards it, preparing to deliver the finishing blow. My powerful kick caused the paper dummy's head to separate from its body. The head flew away and fell, rolling on the floor. At this point, it can be clearly seen that there is only a bamboo frame inside. All of this dummy's body is built of bamboo and paper only.